You wanted less expensive? Today we got a $14 bourbon and a $4 cigar. Welcome to Sticks and Spirits. Today we're going to do the 3-6 matchup between the Jerk and Super Troopers.
Yep.
There we go. I got it backwards. Super Troopers is... No, which one is which?
Super Troopers is the 3.
Super Troopers the 3, the Jerk is the 6. Today we're drinking Benchmark Old Number 8 brand, and we will be smoking El Rey de Mundo Oscuro. So you guys go ahead and light it up, pour your drinks, and I'll tell you a little bit about Benchmark Old Number 8 brand. It's actually an old brand, survived Prohibition. They actually kept distilling through Prohibition because they got one of those special licenses to distill for medicinal purposes. It's been bought by Stitzel Weller, by Sazerac, and now it is run under Buffalo Trace, which is a Sazerac company. Mash Bill 1, which means it's got the same mash bill as George T. Stagg, Eagle Rare, and E.H. Taylor, but it is only aged 3 to 4 years, as opposed to the longer agings of those. And it's a much lower proof. I think this is the lowest proof we've had, guys. 80 proof.
Okay.
So I think I said it's $14, $15. Obviously, very easy to find. And the El Rey de Mundo is produced in Honduras. I don't think we've had a Honduran cigar just yet. By the Velazon family. They help produce brands like Hoy de Monterrey and Punch. This is an extra dark Oscuro broadleaf wrapper and a consistent core of Honduran longleaf fillers. Oscuro leaves are closer to black and cumber. You think of Maduro as dark. These are almost black. People think double Maduros are Oscuros, but double Maduro simply means it's got a Maduro wrapper and binder. Oscuro is a different thing. It comes from the very top of the plant, the first priming, and it gets the most sunlight. The longer it remains on the plant, the darker they become after they get fermented. So, tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing so far, your first drink, your first draw.
I get real earthy, heavy hitting right out on the cigar. Yes.
See, I'm getting earthy, and I'm getting like almost like a weird, like a coffee-ish flavor in there.
I can taste the coffee.
And
So I couldn't tell what it was because I haven't had
I'm
coffee.
not a coffee drinker,
Yeah.
so but yes, that's the dirty water taste.
But it's not overly strong. Like I think it's what it's a kind of a more mid level.
Yeah.
About this.
It's got some sweetness to it.
The other
On the wrapper.
Yes, the wrapper has a lot more flavor than what we've normally been having. I mean, the smoke itself, it's okay. It's not great. It smokes all right. Tastes good, but I think the wrapper has more flavor than anything.
Yeah, it's a $4 to $5 cigar. So,
Yeah. I'm getting a little peeling.
In a way, you get what you get what you get, but I get a little bit more sweetness, a little bit richer, not stronger,
Right.
but richer, and that's gonna be going for the Benchmark.
Honestly, this wouldn't be bad for a golf course cigar.
No, not bad
It
at all.
smokes all
actually.
right.
Oh, I want to show you guys how it comes wrapped. It's kind of cool. All of us had a wrap like this. We didn't want to take 5 minutes on wrapping it for you, but kind of interesting for a $4 cigar. That's a lot of
Sure.
A lot of packaging.
it's a lot of packaging.
Sure.
A lot of packaging. So, what do you think of the Benchmark?
Gotta try it here.
The Benchmark by itself, usually, in my opinion, is not the best, but paired with this cigar, it actually is fantastic, in my opinion.
It's super light.
Yeah.
But that's what you expect. It's 80 proof. We've been at the 95 up to even 117 proof. For $14 though, guys.
Not bad for 14.
Yeah.
Price
I mean,
point.
it's really not bad.
Yeah.
It's light.
It's light. It's got the little bit of sweetness of like I don't know if it's caramel or
Yeah.
butterscotch
I
in there.
think there's definitely some caramel in there. So a little bit, maybe it's because of lightness. I get a little bit of floral,
Yep.
floral notes. We brought out some burners in case it wasn't going down, but
I'm not getting
I
any
don't think-
burn.
I
This
don't-
isn't
No, it's
burn.
really like it's also what 80%, or I mean 80 proof.
Yes.
80 proof.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not hating
Even in the
this.
Glencairn, it's still
Yeah,
no
no,
burn.
I'm not hating this at all. And I think you're right, baby. It pairs pretty well. And you're talking about a really inexpensive pairing here.
Yeah.
Combo, you get for $20, you get a bottle.
A bottle and one cigar, and 2 cigars. A bottle, 2 cigars. Yeah. So
But with the amount of flavor you're getting out of the wrap of the cigar, and this being lighter but having that little bit of sweetness in it too, I think it pairs actually pretty darn
Here
well.
they're complementing with the sweetness with both of them.
Yep.
The only thing I'm noticing is the wrappers are a little different coloring. Like
Yeah,
I mean, every
they're
week
not
is different.
consistent with the color.
Well,
across
yeah,
the
but
board,
you know
yeah.
what they'll do on the more expensive cigars is you're never going to get all the cigars the same color.
no.
But they'll break them into bundles so that the ones that come in the same box are going to be
Gotcha.
super close in color.
Gotcha.
And there is a difference in here. Listen, it's a good maker of cigars, but they know they're making a $4 cigar.
Right.
And,
Not putting the effort in.
and so maybe the quality control is a little bit less.
Yep.
But $4. It's
It's
smoked
hard-
well. I'm enjoying it.
Smokes well, hard to beat for $4.
Yeah.
I think, guys, like you said, a great golf course
Mhm.
cigar, especially if you're looking for something with more flavor.
Well, it's something that's not just going to burn down really, really fast. I mean, it's burning, but it's not. I mean, for Tim, this is about a 3-hole cigar, but for the rest of us, it might make 5.
Sure.
I'm getting a nice even burn too. So
Yes.
we always talk about construction and how easy to smoke, and I got a good draw. It's a nice even burn. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. We got another pair to talk about today, and that is Super Troopers and the Jerk. I think we should all take a Viagra so we can do this show with a super mega boner. Hopefully, if you've
Come on,
never
Meow.
seen Super Troopers, you're going to think I'm pervert.
Easy Farva.
So, where do you guys want to start?
Oh, jeez.
Uh,
Do we start with the jerk?
I'm not a bum. I'm
Okay,
just a
so
jerk.
where we start is I was a little black boy.
I was born a poor black child.
I saw as I'm getting ready to watch it, the description of the movie. I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a little different.
It's something.
Narvin, you aren't our natural born. You mean I'm going to stay this color?
Marvin, here's your meal. It's Twinkies, a tuna.
Some nasty
with mayonnaise?
Yeah.
A mayonnaise sandwich.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The jerk, it has its funny parts. In its time, 1979 when
Yeah,
it was produced, it was funny and relevant for the time. Again, it's one of those that I don't think lived up to.
It hasn't
Fine.
aged super well. I have
Correct.
probably fonder memories of it because I was in high school when it came out, and I was a big fan of Steve Martin's stand-up comedy, and this is him kind of bringing that
Yep.
to the theater. His stand-up comedy has stood up well if anyone's ever
Yeah,
listened to any of his stuff. He's hilarious, but
I mean,
there's some good moments.
There's some good moments, like when they're sitting there talking about, do you have a boyfriend? Well, no, maybe. Well, when you're sleeping with him, would you think of me?
Or maybe someday you can sleep with me and
then
think
she comes
about
back,
him.
Maybe if you two sleep together, you'll think of me.
I just want to be in there somewhere.
I just want to be in there somewhere.
Hey, Mama, I found out what my special purpose is for. I hope next time you can come and be with us.
Yeah.
I like the part where he went in the trailer with her. Is like, I can tell you are a dirty girl.
Yep.
She's got her name tattooed on my ass right on the J's.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to get a new job. We're going to make a little extra cash. I'm getting a blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
The cans are defective. Get away from the cans.
I mean, he plays a very good dumb person.
Yeah,
sure.
He does. He plays it well. He acts it out great. I mean, I love him playing that role. But you match this thing up against what it's matched against.
It's tough.
So,
That's it.
You know what it was? And you know what it was? And I wasn't thinking about this before, but it kind of just hit me is that is a hilarious skit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's not a 90-minute movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would agree with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say that I think it kind of follows the other older comedies that we watch where the whole it's more situational. And yes, they have some one-liners and things like that, but it's more of the encompassing story versus the newer comedies where they've gone more to the actual words of the joke and things of that nature that we're seeing. So it follows that same thing where we're saying hey, it didn't hold up well. It was right for the time.
Yep.
It just comedy's evolved.
And it was a comedic story.
Yes.
Like the whole thing it was just a funny story, funny like everything about it was funny, but it doesn't have the slapstick comedy or the
Correct.
outright just
Jokes.
hilarious
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
See, I feel it's funnier when you sit and talk about it than it was watching it.
Sure.
Because we're all talking about it.
And not
Yeah.
the first
Together.
time we've talked
Yeah.
about that.
Like,
That's true. Yeah.
you know, that to me, that is one of those things like, okay, so then is it a comedy? Because you can sit with your buddies and laugh at all the scenes, but sitting there watching it, I was like, okay, let's
Get through it.
You just got to fight through
you're
it.
just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
My main takeaway is I never want to run into Iron Balls McGinty.
Well done, baby. And I don't need to name my dog shithead.
That's right.
Well, let's move on
You're a
to
hero.
let's move on to the 3C, which was Super Troopers.
Right now.
Meow would be a good time.
Right now.
Right? That's two.
Hey.
Uh,
Stop with the shenanigans.
next person says shenanigans. I'm gonna pistol him with my pistol.
Hey, Farmer, what's that? Farmer, what's that place you like with all the goofy shit on the walls?
Shenanigans? I mean, Super Troopers is great.
I
It's
really,
it's one of my favorites. There's a reason it's rated as where it is. It's great. It has a lot of funny. I mean, we quote that movie so much.
Yeah.
It
It's an
is
easy
just-
one to quote.
It's an easy one to quote.
So many funny bits.
I really liked it. As a first time seeing it all the way through, like,
Oh, that's right. I forgot this was.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
yeah, I was like, this is actually like, I'm enjoying this. I like Beer Fest a lot too, so I think I just like Broken Lizard
Broken
and that crew.
Yeah.
They do such a great job, and now
I'm surprised they haven't made more movies.
I mean, I'd want to go into a restaurant and just ask for a liter of cola.
that's true.
Hold the
What's
spit.
a liter of cola?
Burger for a cup.
Burger for a cup. You gonna put spit on that?
Hold the
hold the spit.
Does that look like spit?
Now, for me, the opening of Super Troopers is one of my favorite openings of a movie. Just the way that was playing.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, please lay it out for us.
No.
right now.
right now. But no, the poor kid in the back seat that's gonna eat the
Oh,
weed
man.
and eat the mushrooms because they're getting pulled over, and then they don't get pulled over right away, and just the fact that then the passenger's like, yeah, dude, you ate like $100 worth of weed and $30 worth of mushrooms. Yeah, I'm gonna need that $130 from you. And then the cops show up behind them, and then again,
Yep.
they take off and then come back again. Oh, and then he's licking the glass. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. I mean, the dude's like, I'm freaking out. Yeah, you are freaking out, man.
There it is.
So the one scene when the cop is at the speed trap, and he's looking in his rear view mirror at the lips of a painted lady on the billboard, and he is
Pleasuring himself.
yes, he's pleasuring himself. And as he goes faster and faster, he takes this speed gun and points it down to see how fast he's going.
The costume, the bear costume.
Oh yeah.
Great distraction.
Like, so one of the scenes I liked is when
You bear lover?
when the
That's not what he said.
when the captain is talking about, you know, how they need to start writing more tickets, and they're like, "Do you know how many tickets you wrote last month?" I can't remember. 3.
I don't have my numbers in front of me.
I can't make them speed, Captain. Try hiding. There's just, and that actor who
The
had
captain.
played like such serious roles to take that role.
He's in Braveheart.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
I actually don't remember. He's English.
Yeah,
And-
he's great.
He used to act in the West End with Sir Laurence Olivier.
Yeah, like he was a like professional actor.
But he's also doing those McDonald's commercials now. So
Hey,
anything for a check.
After Super Troopers, he was like, "Hey, that paid
He was
well."
in Succession.
He was in Braveheart.
Yeah, but
I think he was in Troy.
Excellent.
Troy stole him to act. He's like the king or
Yeah.
whatever.
King Mebnon or whatever.
Everyone should watch Troy.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna be doing a history lesson here with Shumi at the library in a couple episodes.
So I feel like I know where we're leading, but before we do our official vote, we've had a little bit more time. You've got a little more coolness on your drink. A couple more puffs on the smoke. Where are you at with this?
Hard to beat the price point. Smooth, easy drink. Same with the cigar. But is it the best construction we've had? Probably not. But again, for $4, it's hard to beat.
thing with this smoke that I'm noticing though is I'm not getting a whole lot of difference as I'm smoking it. It's
You know
pretty
what?
similar.
I agree with you. I agree with that. Yeah.
Usually by the time I'm, a quarter to a third of the way into it, I'm getting a little bit of a different flavor. I'm not. This is very consistent in flavor.
You could tell by feeling it, right? It's not a really tight.
Nope, it's not tight wrapped.
Right,
Yep.
right. And so the smoke's just kind of flowing through it. I'm pleasantly surprised by the benchmark.
See it flowing through it. Yeah, this was a shocker. For
You
14,
were nervous
for
about
$14, I was like, even I have a low price point.
So I get that clear.
Yeah, different. Wasn't that?
We're all shocked by different things.
I mean, some of us are 2 in the spink.
Only one of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I am pleasantly surprised by the benchmark, and I think you called it right out. Maybe I think it's a pretty good pairing. I mean, if you're just getting into it, or if you want to try it out, I don't know how you can go wrong.
No.
I also think Benchmark would make a really nice cocktail.
I agree.
I would say that 100%.
I think it would make a great old fashioned.
Yep, I think the highball on it would be great. You put a little more sweetness of it. And the other thing too, I don't like to put a lot of mixer even in my mixed drinks, and so we just put a splash of ginger ale in this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And because the alcohol level's lower,
Mhm.
and I think you've got a nice refreshing. I don't usually say refreshing for bourbon, but I think it would be a refreshing drink
I agree.
in summer if it ever comes to Michigan.
Yeah, both are
'Cause it
light.
hasn't come yet.
Like both, I feel are very light mixes, so you're not getting any heavy flavors. This, the benchmark was smooth. Like it didn't have, like it wasn't overpowering flavors, but it was still good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the cigar, I mean, you talk about like it coming through. Like there were times where mine was just smoking on its own. It was just blowing through with the wind.
Yeah, so I feel like we're always trying to say positive things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think I'll have a bottle of Benchmark in my regular rotation because I like the higher proofs and a little bit more flavor.
Mhm.
But I think there's nothing disappointing about it, and it's something that's worth having, especially if you're getting into it, or if you like to make cocktails.
Bourbon on
And
budget.
and this might go into the cigar golf humidor because it's a decent smoke. And if you're on a boat, if you like to smoke when you
Boat.
hike, who would smoke when you hike?
No.
I mean, I would.
I know.
Yeah.
I would hike.
I
mean,
look at us. This is not the hike.
But outside, if outside, it's an outside. It's nice.
Nice thing about learning about the benchmark and having this is if I was at a restaurant and there's nothing great that I really like, at least I know there's a backup of something that's inexpensive. If they have something like this that you could grab and maybe make a mix, or
Yeah,
even
throw a
drink it
mix in.
straight. I mean, it's not going to kill it. Like you go into some restaurants and you're like, oh god, I just don't know what's in there. None of it's what I normally would drink.
Right.
I mean, if you see this now after trying it, you're like, oh, okay, well, I know I can at least get away with that. It's
Sure.
probably not going to break the bank.
Yeah, it's nice to know that there's something inexpensive that's not just horrible. And it's. I listen. We've had some. We've had some downstate. We've had some really bad bourbons, and not all of them are inexpensive. So to find something that's eminently drinkable at $14, $15, hey.
Well, I think that they hit the spot with the entry point, right? Like, I mean, it's a lower proof.
Yep.
It's a lower price. But it doesn't. You said it's only aged 3 years?
They don't put the age statement on it. It's 3 to 4 years.
Okay, but I mean, still, for something that's a little bit more on the younger side and lower proof point, it's definitely something that you can get into and at least try and say, hey, maybe I want to go farther down this road. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just
Right.
hate it. But you're not going to know the difference till you get into some of the more premiums. But nonetheless, it's fine.
I mean, I'll give you a comparable. Jim Beam is far more popular and not much more expensive, a little bit more expensive. And I like some of the higher up Jim Beam products, but I drink Benchmark before I drink white labeled Jim Beam.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Mhm.
you've got that going for you. So let's go ahead and vote for the movie.
Come.
Us? I'm sorry. Let me do that again. Sweet meat.
Sweet meat. Tell us your opinion.
I like me a little Super Trooper.
Super Trooper as well.
Big Ed?
Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
Super Trippers.
Super Trippers.
Well, we have so far clean sweep. Let's see what Mike Weiss has to say about it.
The Jerk vs. Super Troopers. My past let me down again. I had such high hopes for The Jerk and Super Troopers, and to be honest, they both let me down. The Jerk got long and boring, almost forgetting that it's a comedy at times. I felt the same way about Super Troopers. Several times I looked to see how much more was left to watch. My vote here is based on the comedic value throughout the movie, not necessarily the quality of the jokes or the movie for that matter. This winner will struggle to get past the next round, and that winner for me is Super Troopers.
And it remains a sweep. Not a big surprise. Super Troopers will move on. I know Silk is happy. We got a movie moving on without Will Ferrell. So that makes it very, very
Or Chevy Chase.
Or Chevy Chase. So next week, we've got a couple more, 3 6s. I don't know why I always want to see 3 8s. I say it all the time. 3 6s. Vacation, The Hangover, Caddyshack, and The Waterboy.
How much are you itching to get your vacation watched, Tim?
I'm fine because I like both of these matchups. I like all 4 of these movies. There's not going to be one that I think is going to, for me, it's going to be disappointing. So I'm good either way.
What's against Waterboy?
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. I'm going to guess you're going to get Chevy Chase this week, no matter what. So
Let's do Caddyshack.
Caddyshack and The Waterboy.
Remember guests coming up? We can get a golf movie in there.
We'll get a golf movie in there. We have member guests this weekend. So don't forget, we got then 2 more of the 3 6s. And then we're going to move on to the second round. But before we get into our second round, we're going to do a special episode where we talk about the movies that shouldn't be in here, because there are some, and the movies that we missed. In the comment section below, I've got a link to the bracket that we use, so that you can look at the bracket, make some comments, let us know what you think. Appreciate the comments we've had so far. And until next time, keep your sticks lit, keep your spirits high. Cheers.
Cheers.